When most people think about drug laws, their minds will almost immediately jump to marijuana. While the marijuana debate is an interesting and often highly contested topic, there are more drugs being abused than just weed. So then it comes to the problem of what to do with all these drugs. Conventional wisdom would say that they need to be outlawed, and that those who use them need to be given strict punishments. But then why do we still have millions of people who use and are killed by these illegal drugs? No matter what your position on illegal drugs is, it's hard to argue that our current policies are working. For my speech, I'd like to explore the alternatives to the current strategy on the drug war, specifically the decriminalization of all drugs in Portugal. Previous to decriminalization, Portugal had other systems in place to reduce the number of drug users in the country, one of these being the needle exchange program, in which pharmacies would allow customers to exchange used needles for new ones. They would be given a kit containing needles, rubbing alcohol, and a condom. Despite this, Portugal still had the highest rate of AIDS through IV use in the entire European Union. In 2000, the decriminalization law was passed, and it went into effect in July of 2001. It's important to note that this law did not make drugs legal. It simply took away the criminal punishments. Instead of being put in jail, users were now sent to a board made up of a social worker, a psychiatrist, and an attorney. Depending on the seriousness of the drug, the board could give restrictions to offenders, such as fines, restrictions on going to certain places, restrictions on meeting certain people, and travel restrictions. The committee could also find that the person was addicted to the drug. If this was the case, they could assign them to community service or treatment, depending on what the drug was and how addicted they were. The most important part of this law is that it had a focus on treating the person, not punishing them, hoping to make them useful members of society once more. Currently, there is no major movement to repeal the law. Only those on the fringe of the political spectrum still think that it's not useful. Since the passage, there's been an increase in treatment for drug use, decrease in drug-related illness, such as AIDS, fewer drug-related deaths, fewer adolescents using drugs, and lowered street value of almost all drugs. While the Portuguese system for stopping drug use may not be perfect, many of the results they are getting from the policy are extremely hopeful. When you see such an effective yet controversial drug policy that actually has the desired effects, it makes you call into question the laws that you yourself are living under. Could the Portuguese drug laws be an effective model for our own country? Possibly. But before anything like that can be done, our governing bodies need to sit down and have an honest discussion about drug use. No propaganda, just an informed discussion on what is broken and how we can fix it.